this is Erica's paper, so thank you for being bold enough to allow me to show it. What do you think about her picture? What are some good things? Let's do one shout out and one push. Eric? She has all the details. Can you give a specific detail that you really appreciate?
Like the rectangle is the wrapping paper and shows 200 inches square.
I like that how she showed that the piece of information of 200 square inches is the paper that has to wrap the object. I also want to show you a real life example of wrapping paper. This is tinfoil. Anyone have ever used tinfoil in their house? I don't know if you've opened up a box before. This is tinfoil, and it comes in a long roll. And so we use this to help us wrap things. I also want you to notice, what does it say right here?
It's 200 square feet.
It's 200 square feet. So if I was to roll this out, it would be 200 square feet of material. So that is a visual that helps me understand this too. All right, what else? What's a push that you'd push her on to make her work even better? Marlene?
Give Mr. Henley the picture of the bottom one. It looks small. So
It looks really small.
Yeah, so maybe she could like draw it bigger to like maybe help understand more.
Yeah, to write more details. Okay, I have another one. What are some things you like? What are some things you appreciate about this? What are some things that we might need to allow this person to grow? I think this is Richie's, right? Any good positives, shout outs? Ishmael, can you give me a positive shout out?
Of the box, the design of the box.
The design of the box is what, pal?
Is neat.
It's neat. So it's very clear and precise. So, any pushes to make his work even better? Esteban?
In the problem it says since she had like 3 boxes, one was 4 feet, one by 6 feet, and the other by 8 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So I dropped the 3 separate rectangular period.
Can I show yours? And to compare and contrast? Because you were about to do that, right? So his picture looks a little different. Can you tell me what you were trying to do, Esteban?
Like I was gonna like draw one on the top. You can see I was like experimenting like how I draw it. Like,
Oh, okay. I see what you did at the top.
yeah, I was gonna draw like 3 different boxes. So you print one like 4 feet, one 6 inches, and the other one was 8.
Interesting. Okay. So, do you understand where Richie was going from?
Yeah.
Okay. But I think I see what you're trying to do. We're actually going to bring this back later. I'll show you. All right, any other additional feedback? Edith?
Thank you, Mr. Henry. To make sure he got all the information because he forgot to put the wrapping paper.
The wrapping paper, which was 200 feet. And that's important too. Okay? And so this is Monica's, and it's blank for a reason, because I want to use it to help us label this correctly. We have dimensions of a box are 4 inches by 6 inches by 8 inches. These are dimensions of a prism. And so we can label this as 4 inches, 6 inches, 8 inches. Could I have mixed up the numbers?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so now that we have that, what are we trying to cover? What are we trying to cover? You said the box, but what about the box are we trying to cover? The outsides. So how many outsides are we trying to cover?
6.
How'd you get 6? Show me, what are the 6 things? there's these two things I have to cover. I have to cover this, 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 because we don't want them to see the present, right? So we have to cover everything. Okay, we got that? We have 6 things we have to cover. So, what allows us to cover?
Julius has a really good idea over here.
Yeah.
The area. He's trying to cover the area, so you might want to count the areas, which is the sides
Okay.
and the.
So if we could, here I'll start you off with a step. If we could do blank, then we will be able to do blank. If we could do
Counting, like
here I'll do it one time. If we could do blank, fill in it, then we will be able to find the total amount of wrapping paper we need.
we could add.
Say the sentence he's saying, but
Answer.
like say if we could. and
If
then-
we could add the numbers, we could find the total. We could find the wrapping paper.
Okay. Does anyone want to add on to that to make it more rich, because she started off on a really good note? If we could add, you said numbers, right?
If we could add the numbers.
What are those numbers?
Oh, he started to like numbers like the size, like the size, like each side counts like a certain amount of like distance.
So I heard Marlene say face. I wonder if we can add that in there. Okay? So if we could add the faces, what about the faces?
Each one has like a different length.
Are we adding the lengths? Okay. How do we know how much? So I'm going to make this on 3D. Or I'm going to make it not see-through anymore. How do we know how much paper this top covers? How do we figure out how much just the top covers? How would we figure out how much just the top would cover? How much paper would that use? Think about it. I'm just trying to cover the top. How much paper would it use? All right, go ahead and turn to your neighbor. Take 15 seconds. How would you find the top? How much paper that top uses?
No, we could find the perimeter of the first square and find the perimeter of the other square. And like, you know how there's numbers up there? Like, maybe each number represents the side of each. Like,
Yeah,
so that's
like
What do you do?
it says 4 inches, like each side is that side is like 4 inches and so this is like where are you saying like try and multiply by like 8?
Do you agree that, so she said find the perimeter. Do you agree with that?
Okay.
no.
Why not?
So
I'd say to
I was
find the
listening
area of
into a
the top.
conversation.
Because
Lizette, will you explain how would you find the area of the top? Why would you multiply 4 times 6? So if I can find the area of the top face by multiplying 4 by 6, that will tell me how much paper will go on the top.